So you are moving out on your own and getting started on your pantry, and let's say you have kind of no idea what you're doing because you're starting from scratch and you've never been responsible for something like this before. So what I have for you today is a budget pantry, all from the Dollar Tree for those just starting out in their kitchens. I have some must-have ingredients and some treats and some quick shortcuts for those that maybe don't want to cook from scratch right away. And you'll be able to get all of these items I'm talking about, everything that I show you, starting for only about $30 to get your kitchen started. There are some extremely basic kitchen ingredients that I think everybody needs to have, and they are sugar, flour, and oil, fat of some kind. I had hoped to show you some flour today, but my Dollar Tree, I actually don't love their flour options. They were these tiny, tiny little bags like this for $1. You can get a much better deal at Walmart. So flour is actually not one of my items today, although I do think you need to have it. I just don't think Dollar Tree is the place to buy it. But what you do have is cane sugar. They have brown cane sugar, white cane sugar, a full pound for $1. There is nothing in these except for cane sugar. So these are really high quality items that you can pick up and keep in your pantry. And I do like that they are smaller options. So for those just starting out that aren't gonna blow through brown sugar the way I do on a family of 6, I love this. Oil's also not my favorite buy at Dollar Tree because it's a really small container, but if you don't really know how much you're gonna use yet, this can be a great choice. No kitchen should be without your basic spices and salt and pepper. So you're gonna need to pick up salt, pepper, and a couple of bare minimum spices. Here are the ones I recommend. First of all, they have this 1 pound bag of pink Himalayan salt. This is an amazing deal. I have seen basically the same size bag at Walmart or Sam's Club for closer to $5. So Dollar Tree hits it out of the park with this one right here. I also think their ground black pepper is a great buy at the Dollar Tree for only $1. These two ingredients will go such a long way in your kitchen. If you ever taste some food and you're like, oh, something's missing, I guarantee you it is salt and pepper. In fact, when I moved into my big apartment, I had 5 roommates. That's right, there were 6 of us in this small apartment. I made breakfast one morning for all of my roommates. It was basic. It was like toast and scrambled eggs. Okay, super, super basic. But I salted and peppered my eggs. And I remember my roommates being like, what did you do to these eggs to make them taste so good? And I'm like, salt, you guys. So do not underestimate the power of salt and pepper. And when it comes to other spices, I picked up today some ground cumin. How do you say this? I think I Googled it. This is like the #1 most used spice worldwide. It can go in so many things. You wanna make tacos, you need this. You wanna make chili, you need this. You wanna make fajitas, you need this. Garlic powder can also go a really long way in flavoring any of your meats and vegetables. Garlic powder, salt and pepper, boom, you just have seasoned salt at your house. A couple of other good buys are cinnamon, and I personally really like the Uncle Tony's Cajun seasoning. I've found that at my Dollar Tree as well. Hey, if you haven't given this video a thumbs up yet, if you would do that, that would be amazing. Thank you so much. Something I love to keep on hand are chicken bouillon, chicken stock, chicken broths, or beef broths, or vegetable broths, because these can go such a long way in making a homemade soup. You can make a gravy. You can make like some kind of pasta saute situation and make a sauce. They're just really good basics to have on hand. My store had a chicken and a beef flavored one. So pick these up, they're only $1 for 2 pounds. I find that to be a really good price. And stock up your pantry with a couple of these. You could also do the powdered bouillon. I have used that for years. Either one, like if you don't have a ton of space for stuff like this, get the powdered bouillon and add your own water, piece of cake. Now, you knew we were not gonna talk about the pantry without talking about rice and beans. These are some of the cheapest and most nutritionally dense foods for the price. Now, I find at my Dollar Tree right now, they have 2 pound bags of brown rice and white rice. This is a steal. This is an amazing price. You will not get this price at Walmart. Please go buy some rice. You can put it in basically anything as a meal extender. So if you are trying to ball on a budget, you need to buy these. And beans are one of my favorite things. And if you are scared of the dried beans, go ahead and pick up the canned beans. But when it comes to cost benefit, dried beans is the way to go. I did make an entire video of all the different ways you can make dried beans with various tools in the kitchen. I will leave that video down below in the doobly-doo for you so you can go check it out later if you want to learn how to get started cooking dried beans. But once you figure it out, it's really not that hard. And these will like save your budget in the kitchen and save dinner actually. One of my favorite buys at the Dollar Tree for your pantry is their pasta. Spaghetti, lasagna noodles, penne, macaroni noodles. They even have potato gnocchi for $1. Are you gonna be able to find gnocchi at any other store for $1? I don't think so. These containers are basically £1.50 pounds. So usually you pay $1 for 1 pound at any other store. You get more in this package than at any other store. So pasta and a jar of sauce is like the easiest, most basic dinner. It tastes good. You can add things. You can add chicken, ground beef, sausage, cheese, or you don't have to. It can literally be this and a jar of sauce, and that's dinner. If you do nothing else I say, go do this one. It is so cheap and so convenient to have around. Also, something to keep in your pantry is the shelf-stable milk. This is ultra pasteurized milk, so it can stay on the shelf for a couple of years. This one's good for an entire year on your shelf. So go ahead and pick up a couple of these. It's $1 per quart, so $4 a gallon or so. That could be more or less than your fresh milks. But if you get some of these and stick them in your pantry, you will never run out of milk. You'll never be like, oh, I'm out of milk. Shoot, how am I gonna have my cereal in the morning? No problemo, you have this. And then you could stick it in the fridge overnight. And once it's chilled, you pretty much won't notice the difference at all. Great item to keep. Don't forget about those condiments. I would do 3, but I cannot juggle 3. I always drop one. Yeah, so, oh. Okay, it did not bust open, so that's good. They have some huge condiments for the price. This is a 20-ounce container of Hunt's ketchup and 20 ounces of yellow mustard. Go pick up some of your favorite condiments at the Dollar Tree. They had this real mayo for $1. Now, I live with 5 other people in my house. So I buy ketchup and, well, probably not mustard, but I buy ketchup and mayo in way bigger containers than this. But if it's just you, you don't need to do that. So I just really like the sizes. You can get through it without it just like getting lost in the back of your refrigerator. So I think your condiments are a great buy there. Barbecue sauce, ketchup, mayo, mustard. One of my favorite like condiment, I guess we can call it a condiment. One of my favorite condiment items to buy at Dollar Tree are the pickles. This is $1. These are bread and butter pickles, but they had all different kinds of pickles. You will not find this price at any other store. You will not. And I find them to be really tasty. Like I've opened them, we've eaten them, they're good. So don't be scared to get like the pickles, the jarred olives. They had sliced jalapenos. This one is just over £1 pound. Every sandwich, every hamburger, every hot dog needs some pickles on it to make it like over the edge, you know? Okay, let's talk breakfast items. Now, sometimes they have the larger boxes of cereal at the Dollar Tree. You're looking for 12 ounces or higher. If they're the teeny little boxes, ignore those, leave them there. That is not a deal. You can find a better deal at Walmart using Ibotta for a much larger box. But I did find the Honey Nut Cheerios knockoff at 12 ounces for $1. Now that's a pretty good buy. And I also found 2 of my favorite breakfasts at the Dollar Tree, Quick Oats and grits. These are both 1 pound packages and there's nothing in it but oatmeal and grits. And that is all. Especially the grits. I have a really hard time finding grits for a good price here where I live in Idaho. Now, if I still lived in Texas, that would probably be easier. It's probably cheap here because people don't know how to cook with these. But this is a great buy on the oatmeal as well. Ingredients, whole grain rolled oats. That's it. I did get asked recently what in the world grits are. We'll see if I can say this right. Grits are the hominy of corn that have been dried and rinsed with light, something like that, and ground up. So it's basically a dried corn crunched up into a hot cereal. That's what it is. I grew up eating this, not so much on the oatmeal, so this is like really nostalgic for me. I always had it with like butter and sugar growing up. My mom thinks that is a complete travesty because grits are supposed to be salty, like with butter and salt and maybe cheese. I've had it that way too, but I've had it that way for dinner. like salt, cheese, some shrimp on top, like shrimp and grits. That is legit. Now, like I said, you're getting started. You maybe don't have a ton of kitchen skills yet. Let's pick up some baking mixes to make some easy shortcuts in the kitchen. The ones that I found at my Dollar Tree today is I found this like brownie cookie mix for $1. This looks delicious. They have your traditional cake mixes by Pillsbury, yellow cake, chocolate cake, whatever. Pick up a couple of these. These are so easy to throw together a simple treat in your kitchen. And then they've got your pancake and waffle mix. Now, honestly, this one is not the best tasting one. It isn't. But if you have no idea how to make pancakes, just give it a go to start. My most recent favorite are these honey sweet cornbread mix. I just showed you guys how to make pancakes out of this, like a corn pancake, in my most recent Eat from Dollar Tree video. I will link that down below. Or you can make muffins, or you can make bread, or you can make waffles. I think this is a great buy as well. Basically, any baking mixes with some oil, eggs, and milk, boom, you have a fun treat for yourself without too much effort. Let's talk drinks. Now, I don't drink coffee or tea, so I can't say if those prices are good, but they do have a nice variety. But what I do like is their flavored water. I'm a huge fan of flavored water, and this brand of the lemonade is really delicious. They also sometimes have like a strawberry lemonade flavor or a watermelon lemonade of this brand, and I've bought it before and it is so good. It's only 10 calories per stick, so if you want to get that Kool-Aid life, maybe you don't want quite as much sugar, this is 10 packets for $1. That is 10 cents a cup. And I know it says to put it in like 16 ounces of water, but I find that to be really strong. So I like to do about 28 to 32 ounces of water instead, and you have yourself a nice refreshing beverage. That is everything in my $30 budget starter pantry from Dollar Tree. Now, I have most of these items here in my house already, so I'm actually going to be donating these to a local college student who's just getting started, who might need some stock up items. So I'm going to box all of these up and go ahead and drop those off. If you're so inclined, like maybe you don't need a budget pantry, pick these things up and donate it in your area. I think it would go a really long way. I'll have the full list of everything that I purchased at the Dollar Tree down below in the doobly-doo for you, so you can go check that out. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoy your Dollar Tree shopping, and I'll see you in the next video.